Still enough value here to save the day. I'm just gonna draw both of those. I think the dust seems nice too. Land can go. Just the triple draw in itself is really powerful. That takes them down to 4 mana. I don't think they'll have anything. Right, it's not like they can drop a land and an Elspeth Conquers Death. Nice. Killing it. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks so much for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we play Dimir Ashiok Control. Dimir is the color combination of blue and black. Control looks to shut down our opponent's every move and outpace them within the late turns of the game. You know, turn 7 to turn 12 is really where we start to get into our full stride finally. So the beginning part of the game, we're surviving. You know, that second part of the game, we're kind of finding our balance, and it's in that last part where we finally do take advantage. So looking at Ashiok Control within Dimir colors today. Thanks for watching. We're in the top 1,000 Mythic, climbing into the top 500 and 80% win rate. If you guys aren't interested in the upcoming deck breakdown, you can skip right to the gameplay footage. I understand, but be sure to like the video and subscribe. On your way, let's get into it. All right, Yorion the Sky Noodle is our companion. This is a 4/5 with flying. The companion rule states that we have to follow a certain deck building rule. In this case, our deck needs 20 more cards than our minimum value, bringing us from 60 up to 80. So there's a lot of cards to get through here today. Of course, we all know a yacht named Yorion. This is a 4/5, and when it enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control. Return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. There is just so much value produced through the playing of Yorion. It's like all of your other spells just got copied. Absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, I'm going to be surprised if Yorion survives his entire life cycle. It could go the way of Fires of Invention, where we see it, we deal with it for so long, but it gets to a point, right, where it's like you basically are running Yorion always. I don't know, though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's begin to break down the rest of this Ashiok Control deck. Into our 1-drops now, we have 2 copies of Bloodchief's Thirst. Destroy target creature, destroy target planeswalker with converted mana cost 2 or less. We can kick it for an additional 3 to destroy target creature or planeswalker, regardless of their mana cost, which is really great. 2 copies of Cling to Dust at instant speed for 1. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, you gain 3 life, otherwise draw a card. Whether we're dealing with our opponent's creatures with Escape, Kroxa, WHOAH Strider, or, you know, maybe dealing with our own graveyard to help mitigate the rogue implication of getting 8 cards in our graveyard, whether we need to gain life and or draw a card, Cling to Dust does it all. This is like a wet blanket over the meta, and a must include if you're playing black right now, in my opinion. Into our 2-drops now, 3 copies of Essence Scatter, instant speed, counter target creature. We have the exact opposite within Negate at instant speed as well for 2 to counter target non-creature spell. Jwari Disruption sits in the middle as an MDFC land/counter spell at instant speed for 2, countering target spell unless its controller pays 1. Now, I know a lot of you don't like this spell, however, it is worth its weight in gold. It's a land, remember, never forget this, and it also can shut down your opponent's big payoff spells. Does your opponent wait until 8 mana to cast a Genesis Ultimatum? Do they wait until 9 mana to cast an UGIN? That's all I have to say. The answer is no, they do not, and Jwari's Disruption is going to be really nice early game to counter, you know, when they're tapping every single mana on their first couple turns, trying to get curve out, but it's also good late game when they're looking to use their payoff spells. For the first time, that is. Once they play their payoff spell, you counter it, and the game continues. You know, obviously they're going to have mana in those following turns to kind of get around that, but, you know, sometimes countering that first UGIN, countering that first ultimatum is the only thing that you need to do, and this does it perfect. 4 copies of Omen of the Sea for 2, an enchantment at flash, which means instant speed. When Omen of the Sea enters the battlefield, scry 2, then draw a card. We can also pay 3 once it's already in play to sacrifice it, allowing us to scry for an additional 2. You know, finding answers is your primary function within a control deck. You're not looking to be really proactive, you're looking to be reactive, but you do want to be proactive with your reactiveness, if that makes any sense, right? So first off, we want to determine what deck our opponent's playing, right? We can do this, you know, typically between their first 2 to 3 lands and their first permanent played. We can, you know, isolate that it's this deck or this deck, might be 2 of these decks. Once we know what deck it is, we think, well, what does that deck do that directly implicates us in a negative fashion? And then we start proactively looking for those reactive answers. You know, whether it be a counter spell, a removal, Omen of the Sea's Scry and Draw ability is a great way to do this. Again, it's a permanent, which can be flashed, or bounced, I should say, with Yorion, which is quite nice. Moving on, we've got some removal in the deck. 4 copies of Eliminate for 2 at instant speed, destroying target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less. 4 copies of our Heartless Act, also at instant speed. Choose one, destroy target creature with no counters on it. This is nice for the higher CMC cards. And we can also remove up to 3 counters from a target creature. Creatures cannot exist in play with 0 toughness, so if there is a Stonecoil Serpent as a 3/3, for example, we cannot kill it, but we can remove the 3 counters. It goes to a 0/0, therefore dies. So that's quite nice. The same goes for creatures with Indestructible. They cannot exist with 0 toughness. Moving on, we have 4 copies of the Mazemind Tome. This is our last 2-drop. We can tap it, add a counter to it, scry 1. We can pay 2, tap it, add a counter to it, draw a card. When there's 4 counters on it, sacrifice it and gain 4 life. We're talking about the consistency while we look for the specific spells for that deck interaction that we have going on for our match. This will help us do it. Always allowing us to scry, allowing us to draw a card if we have the mana to do so. We can scry on our opponent's end step, and if it gets to the spot where we need an answer or we lose, we can put a stop on our own upkeep before our draw step, get that last scry in under our belt, and try to set up an answer for that last turn. If not, you might want to be doing this, you know, on your opponent's end step as well. It's either on your upkeep or their end step. Or actually, I guess you could do both, but not back to back, right? You can do their end step and then your upkeep, but you can't do their end step, your upkeep, their end step, right? Because it'll be tapped on their second end step. You know what I'm talking about. Into our 3 drops, 3 copies of our Neutralize at instant speed. Counter target spell regardless of its origin. Creature, planeswalker, enchantments, doesn't matter. Neutralize gets it all. We can also cycle it for 2. Typically, we only do this if we are bricking on lands or we already have a bunch of counter spells in hand and we need something like an Extinction Event because all of those creatures are already in play. And, you know, we're no longer in counter mode, we're in, you know, remove mode. So that could be a reason to cycle the Neutralize. Into our 4 drops now, 4 copies of Reign of Revelation at instant speed for 4. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. This is really nice with Neutralize, with the Essence Scattered, the Negate, all of the counter spells, because we're holding up our mana. We're waiting for our opponent to try to cast a threat. We counter it. If they don't cast a threat, now we can use Reign of Revelation at instant speed just to draw even more cards to make the situation that much worse for our opponent and better for ourselves. Similar how we would cast Omen of the Sea on our opponent's end step if we did not use that mana to counter. Into the Extinction Event. 4 copies of this at sorcery speed. Choose odd or even, then exile each creature with the chosen converted mana cost. 0 is even. This is great. It takes out Dream Trawlers because it's not targeted. You know, just a must-have in your opening hand in best of 1, as far as I'm concerned, because there's so many aggro decks. This can just like clean it up and allow you to restart that match on turn 5. And then finally, Hagra Mauling and the Brood Pit. Brood Pit in tapped adds a land to our pool. And then at instant speed, the Mauling destroys target creature. If they have no basic lands, it will cost 1 less to cast, which is quite nice. So typically it's 4, but you can get it down to 3, which is all right. And then 4 copies of our 5-drop Ashiok Nightmare Muse. 5 loyalty. When it enters, +1, create a 2/3 blue and black Nightmare creature token with whenever this creature attacks or blocks each opponent, exiles the top 2 cards of their library. -3, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then that player exiles a card from their hand. And finally, -7, you may cast up to 3 spells from among face-up cards your opponents own in exile without paying their mana cost, which is really, really nice. These spells are accompanied by a single Castle Vantress. We can tap it for 5, scrying for 2. 8 islands, 1 Castle Locthwain, tap it for 4, drawing a card, losing life equal to the number of cards in our hand. 3 swamps, 3 Clearwater, Murkwater Pathways, 4 Temple of Deceit, scry 1, 4 Zagoth Triomes, comes in tapped, cycle for 3. 4 Crawling Barrens, we can pay 4 to put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, choosing for it to become a creature or not. 4 Fabled Passages, and a single Field of Ruin to round out the deck. That's the list. Let's break down strategies and synergies here. You know, your overall strategy is to make the game last as humanly possible. draw it out past turn 5, get to turn 7, and then, you know, really just gain control until turn 10, where you're absolutely dominating the match, and you can close it out. We can close it out with Ashiok's plus tokens. We can also minus and use our opponent's spells to win the game. Yorion can also attack as a huge flyer. The reason I love this deck is there is not a lot of win conditions, and we're also not using UGIN, which a lot of people are waiting for. They're like waiting for UGIN. Some of you are even necromenting UGIN before they even know that it's there. So you can juke past that, which is really, really nice. And again, using a full control deck, countering creatures, countering, you know, non-creatures. We do want to prioritize our counters and removal. So typically, if we have an Extinction Event, we want to allow our opponent to play their hand out into the field, allow them to feel safe, and then we get them all in one sweep. That leaves our single counter removal, single target counters or removal for after the wipe, and then they're going to be playing one spell because they're low on cards because they just folded their whole hand into the field. Now we can remove one at a time, we can counter one at a time, and still gain control through the back end through our excess mana, because our counters and removal are quite cheap, which is quite nice. So, you know, it just comes down to gaining card advantage. You each start with the same amount of advantage and try to make your spells have a bigger impact than their spells. This means, you know, using one spell to deal with 2 spells, if you can, and then repeating this function as many times as possible, so on and so forth. The deck's great. It works really good. We have an 80% win rate within Mythic, climbing from like 750 up to the top 500. Really, really nice results for you guys today. And one of the stronger UGIN-less control decks that we can actually play within the meta competitively still. So, you know, we're out here. We're trying to get you guys fresh content every day while we wait for call time. Check out not only the other decks that we've done, but our call time spoilers as well. We're breaking down each card for you guys, at least the rares and mythics, discussing their strengths, their weaknesses, where it's really going to fit within Magic the Gathering Arena. So let me know what you guys thought of the deck. Leave your comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as well. Download Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant, as we are using it today to track not only our deck, but our collection, our statistics, our metagame analysis, and so much more. Available for free to everybody on Windows within the link just below this video. Easy to find. We're going to watch the gameplay footage now, and I'll be back in a few minutes with our wrap-up thoughts. All right, our opponent goes first. We do have a Tome, an Eliminate, and an Event, so I'm okay with that. We can just keep pulling land. That's good. We have a counter, we have an eliminate. Let's just Tome. They can have it. Right, if we're gonna Extinction Event on a 3-drop anyways. I guess it's a 2-drop now, but I was thinking it probably would have been an Annex, I guess. Sorry about the mic, I just realized. Okay. There could be a Demonic Embrace we need to take care of, or a Kroxa, so we better keep Clink to Dust. Not yet. It's a little early. Should we eliminate the Charger? Or show them 2 cards? Let's take out the charger. We're taking the damage anyways. Let's show them our Cling, just because we can recast it from the grave, so we don't really lose too much value there. Just grab some life. Negates aren't bad. That's our turn. We could double draw. I think that's our best bet here. We have a counter up as well, so let's see what they do. The hit for 1 doesn't worry us too much. Okay, cool. It would be cool to be able to protect it. Let's grab Yorion over. Just trying to outplay their hand, right? Gonna hold on to Ashiok for a little bit. Try to play some removal and counter spells first. Worst case, we play Ashiok just as like a body. Take the damage. Commander's really good. We should definitely negate that. Unless they're both evens, and the tokens will be even too. Should we event that? I think. Yeah. Back up to 18. And I like the Neutralize. Just play lands real slow. We get the whole field, which is nice. We only have 2 mana, though, which is heartbreaking. If we hold up the disruption, we can stop something, probably. Six. Do we need 7 mana? Probably. And then we can protect Yorion with the negate. Yeah, okay. So we'll give up our disruption. And our turn. These 3 neutralizes should be pretty good value once we can start taking advantage. Oh, that would have been a really good counter. The disruption wouldn't have worked. Nice. Okay. If we pull another land, we can Yorion and hold up a Neutralize. Grab life. Grab a land. Untapped. No, but that's not the worst. Removal is good. Okay, that takes us to 8. We'd have 3 left over. Alright, so Ashiok can play. -3 on the Angel. This is where we need things to really go our way. We've got a lot of negates. Sorry, a lot of neutralizes and a negate ready, so we should be protected. Don't shoot there. They've got to kick a Bloodchief's Thirst. They don't have 2 black mana. If that's their plan. Could have an Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Fledgling. I do not care. Snag. Ashiok starts to increase in strength.
All your fears are given form.
Can we go on the offensive? Probably not. Let's hold up. We're a control deck. Don't ever aggress. Just, like, keep those shields up. Let's allow the passage through. Fun, fun, fun. One negate. Feels pretty good. We've got 3 neutralize still. Four. I don't want to put into the Barrens and open ourselves up. It would just be a stomp, though. It would just be a stomp. It would still survive. Let's go for it. Oh, nice. That's cool.
Creeping, thieving progeny.
Start our exile with Ashiok. Decent. End our turn. So if they drop 1 at a time that are big hits, we're okay. If they spam out, we're okay. So I'm not too worried. Second Bloodchief's Thirst gets countered. Feels pretty good. Charger in play. Not really worried about it, I guess. Push into the Barrens.
All your fears are given form.
Really nice exiles. We should have them boxed out. They block, which means there's no Skyclave to counter, really. 1 damage to Ashiok, that's fine. I'm pretty sure they're boxed out. This should be a win.
Fear your failure.
We can cling for a draw. Oh. Ooh. No. Alright. 1 shot. 1 kill. We love it. Our opponent goes first, and they're quite high ranked. Let's give them the signature hello, good game. Rakdos control could be annoying. Let's keep the land. However, will this work out for us? Kroxa? No. Are they running that new counter? Let's just play slow. The exiles need to be used appropriately. Hang life for that. Let's take it. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Okay, so we took a little extra damage, but we got a 2-for-1. Let's move Yorion over. Okay. They just get in our hand with that. Take some removal. Take our scry. I bet they have a Bone Crusher Giant, so we still need to plus.
Close your eyes. Creeping, thieving prod.
And our turn. They take our Extinction Event. That hurts. Uh-oh! They need a second Black Source to kick a Thirst on our Ashiok. It's awkward. They have no graveyard for Kroxa. They're definitely thinking about it, right? Rank 120 doesn't not think about it. These matches are very important to them. It's another Kroxa. Removal's good. It's better than land. I think Bloodchief's Thirst is better.
The shadows awaken.
Is hitting for 4 really important here? We could draw for 2, do a counter spell instead. We lose our grave. We might have to try to pull a counter spell with the tome to protect Ashiok here. That's what I'm worried about. No. Okay, that hurts. We didn't get it.
What a foolish thing you are.
I mean, this feels really good so far.
Terror lurks among us.
We could have waited and done the draw again, probably. We get the exiles. Heartless Act, okay. Couple more giants. I think they're out of giants. 1, 2, 3, yeah. No more Bone Crusher giants. And their turn. They have 4 cards in grave. Giants in play. Let's just take it. That's good for their Kroxa, but they need a second black source. Let's grab 4 life. Land can go. That's really good for us. That's really good for us.
My kin are delightfully friendly.
Let's start hitting with Barrens full time. Hit for 8. Lethal in 2. End our turn. We can counter creature spell. Kroxa's coming into play, we're countering it. Let's just try to take the kill. They need more removal. Oh, they get our Barrens. Nice. Okay. Can we cast the MDFC sides of these? Can we cast the Giants as the Stomp? I think we can. Let's try. For science! Yeah. That's the one. That's the one, man! That's the one! Let's do it again. I think we got a 3rd Giant in here, don't we? No. I guess we can gain some life.
Tragedies are the stars of my final.
Good game, my friend. 2 shots. 2 kills. Yeah. Our opponent goes first, which we know is illegal. We've got a good-looking hand, though. I say that because we're playing best of 1, and we have an Extinction Event. Alright. Let's lose a land. Pass our turn. We already had this battle. We don't want to do it again. It was not easy. Okay. Ashiok over. I don't see them playing a non-creature, so these negates are kind of like, ooh, worthless unless they're protecting our Ashiok. We need a Cling to Dust as soon as possible to kill Kroxa. Rankle. Cute. odds and evens, right? Annoying. Why can't you fall into my hand? Counter creature spell's good. Let's hit the WHOAH Strider. They're not gonna sack Rankle. That's silly. There's no way they sack Rankle. Not in any world does that happen. But now maybe they play Kroxa, right? From the grave. Or it's gonna be the frickin' Strider again. That'd be worse. It is gonna be the Strider. That's annoying. Okay, we should have killed Rankle. My mistake. Maybe. I don't know. Probably. You guys second guess yourselves as much as I do? We could have tossed land without being punished. Oh, it's a Bone Crusher. They're playing evens and odds. They're smart. They're smart. And they've got lethal either way. Basically. Yorion might save us if there's removal, they win. Woof. 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 Can't win them all, right? Alright. Our daily rogue session is upon us. Our opponent still gets to go first for some reason. Not sure what that's about. Great. We have lots of interaction, but Rogue's going first. Ugh. Let's counter that. We're going to be taking quite a bit of damage for a while, I think. Omen's nice. Okay, both of those can stay. That's our turn. Trying to outwiggle rogues, you know. Our daily workout. Another Omen. I want to keep that neutralized there. Passing our turn still. They're doing the same thing though, right? They know that we're loaded, and they're like, okay, how do we work through this? I think we can finally eliminate here though. I want to keep that unbroken as long as possible. Right? Keep our graveyard down. Land off the top is nice. Let's get Yorion in hand now. That's our turn. Really? I'm gonna take the Enforcer then. We can empty our graveyard with Cling. We need more lands, is the thing. Pass our turn. They tossed a crab, because they're just sitting on a full hand. This is our turn, hey? We could double counter. Let's leave it. We could always cling the crab. Yes, yes, yes. We empty our grave, which hurts for them. Have you ever seen a rogue deck do so little, you guys? Yeah, yeah, yeah! That is a complete lockout. Just by taking things slow, playing as smart as we can, holding up all of our answers always. So rewarding. Okay, they go first, illegal, and we only have one removal spell. No Extinction Event. The Scry can help us, and we're on the draw. More land. I guess that's good for Ashiok. Omen of the Sea helps us find whatever we need. Keep that there. Birth of Melitus, Jeskai Transmogrify, or Jeskai Control. The Defender doesn't really do anything other than be transmogrified if that's what's going on. In which case we really need an Extinction Event as soon as possible. Right, that's the only way we're going to be killing these Dream Trawlers. So we can get counter spells for the transmogrify. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. Let's toss them both. Another. The land off, ladies and gentlemen. We have a counter spell. We have an Omen. They gain life. That's fine. Omen can go in. We can also eliminate their tokens when they target it, which we might have to do. It's definitely Transmogrify. Lands can go. Heartless Act is good. More removal. Passing our turn here. Should have played a black source so we had double removal. That's fine though. We can counterspell and remove. Remove and counterspell. Okay, there it is. Let's eliminate that token. The same as countering the Transmogrify. First one out of the way. We get hit for one though. If we Ashiok, they could play another one. I want to Ashiok minus on a token, but what if they have another? Means we won't be able to play Ashiok for 2 turns? That seems silly. Do they have 2 Transmogrifies in hand? Let's play it safe. They could. They very well could. And then I would feel sad. Not as sad as I would have felt without this. Okay, we just hard countered the Trawler. That feels great. With a Jwari Disruption, nonetheless. We get hit for another. Single point of damage. If we can keep our mana below 3 or less, we're immune from Elspeth Conquer's death. The Tome is good. Take the Scry. The event is good. That allows us to play loose, right? If they do it again. -3 on the token. Token can't go to their hand, it dies, and they still have to discard.
Thy succulent horrors.
They lose a glass casket. Okay, that doesn't affect us so much.
Fade into the shadows.
+2. Barrens in play.
Leaving project.
Home in play. Okay. Bring Yorion over, and we still have Heartless Act mana up. Bouncing 3 Omens with Yorion should be enough to close out the game, I hope. They're cycling another Neutralize. Scrying, 2 land in hand. See how helpful it is to identify what deck they're playing, and then try to just interrupt that deck instead of the match, right? Oh, we're okay with that. Interesting. Let's just triple bounce here. Oh, we should have plussed and then bounced. Whoops. Whoops, we missed out on a 2-2.
I will be sated
My bad.
elsewhere.
Little mistakes. Little mistakes. Still enough value here to
The dead
save the day.
are the sweetest in
I'm just gonna draw both of those. Clink to Dust seems nice too. The land can go. Just the triple draw in itself is really powerful. That takes them down to 4 mana. I don't think they'll have anything. Right, it's not like they can drop a land and an Elspeth Conquers Death. Nice. Killing it. All right. Woof. We got some nice kills. Top 200 player, or top 150, I guess. And a nice win rate. Kind of grinding back up into the top 500. It's crazy. I will grind to 500, make 2 videos a day doing it, quit playing, come back tomorrow morning, and we're going to be, you know, at 1,000 or 1,100 again. People are aggressive within the rank, and, you know, we had a really nice win rate today. I think we won 6 games total, lost 1 in Mythic, and we're still going to lose all of that rank just by taking 12 hours off, right? You know, I think some of these people might not sleep, or they're just playing one deck 300 times a day, right? So, you know, all the power to them. I'm just out here trying to struggle, staying in the top 1,000 while keeping it fresh with 2 new decks a day for you guys. Having a great time doing it, I must admit. We beat rogues, you know, every day we beat rogues is so much fun. Let me know what you guys thought of the deck and the video in the comments below. Thanks for watching, whether this is your first video or you've been here since the start. I really appreciate your time and attention. If you want to go above and beyond, support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, or by buying things through our Amazon links, you'll find all of the links in the description below. I appreciate you. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to watch my call time spoilers, okay? Take care.